The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Bert Browne.
And I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome to the 2013 Coach Bert Browne Show here at Jack Burford Chevrolet.
This program is brought to you by L81, a proud sponsor of Madison County School Sports Television. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome back. I am here with head coach of the Madison Central football team, Coach Bert Browne. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Good to be here.
Thanks. We're at Jack Burford Chevrolet, so we definitely want to thank them. They're our official sponsor for our coaches show, and as you can tell, they are under renovation, and every week we're going to see something a little bit different of their renovation. So bear with us in the dust and all the renovating that's going on. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about last week's game against Harlan County.
Well, they're an awful good team, and it would not surprise me a bit for them to be in the 5A state championship game in Bowling Green. And I think a lot of folks, a lot of football coaches think that. And you know, it's not. It's one of those things. They're a physical football team, and for us to be so young and right out of the gate play a physical football team, it tests your football team, and you know, we've got to be more physical. There's no question about that.
Right.
We've got to come off the ball on offense and create some holes for our running backs, and then our front seven on defense have to stop the run.
Well, and that was my next question leading into that. What are your thoughts? Let's just start off with the first half of your offense. What did you think about it?
Well, you know, we hit them with a big play and had a chance to get a fumble on the foot line there. And didn't get it, missed it, and they got it, and they proceeded to go 10 or 12 plays for 99 yards and 99 2/3 yards and score a touchdown. So, and we just really couldn't put anything together, any kind of sustained drive together offensively. And any time that you're playing a football team that is as physical as they are, offensively, you need to move the ball and you need to hang on to the ball for a while, and we just didn't do it.
Right. And let's move into the big play, I guess, in the first half that everybody's talking about. It was on the news reels, the big throw. Mm-hmm. What was it, 75 yards?
I think it might have been something like that. John Williams caught it from Cameron Presnell, and he went up, and it was a great throw, great catch, and a big momentum thing there, I thought, for us. And That's when we needed to dig in defensively and stop them and try to get the football back and go do something, but unfortunately we didn't. And then we just couldn't put things together offensively when they were making plays and scoring a touchdown or two there, and then we let them get a cheap touchdown there right before the half. And anytime you're young, you need some things to go your way early. The big play went our way early. Had we gotten a fumble on the foot line there, I think the momentum would have been, of course, on our side, because I feel like we could punch it in from a foot, and we just didn't do it. And you have to be, when you're young, you have to start out good. You have to gain some confidence. And it looked like that was going to happen there for a few minutes.
I know, I thought it was too.
Yeah.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
Let's move into defense. Do you want to talk
Well,
about that the first half?
Defensively.
I think you started out great.
Yeah, defensively, we just, we would have them 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6, let them have a big play, or had them on down there on their goal line, 4th and 5, and we blow a coverage. Everybody's covered but one guy. One guy misses his assignment, doesn't do it, or we stop them there from going in. So, there were some things that we can take away from that football game and look at and say, if we do this better, we'll be okay there. If we do that better, we'll be okay there.
Right.
So there were some positives, but we've got to be able to stop them on 4th and 5, 3rd and 5, make them turn the football over. And then offensively, we've got to sustain drives and come off the football.
Right. Well, let's take a break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about halftime, and we'll move into the second half, and we'll talk a little bit about some of your team, okay?
All right.
All right, we'll be right back with the Coach Bert Browne Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Coach Bert Browne Show. I'm Samantha Burford here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. They're under renovation, and every week, like we said earlier, we're going to move to a different location and show some of this remodeling that's taken place. It is kind of exciting. It's a little dusty right now.
Yeah,
so,
but that's okay.
by the time this is all finished and maybe football season's over, it'll be shiny
Yeah.
and new, right?
Yeah.
So, but we appreciate them letting us have the show here. And let's talk about any specific players or any thing in the first half
I
you want
felt
to talk
like
about.
our quarterbacks didn't play bad. I thought they played okay. They're both young kids, Cameron and Cameron Presnell,
Right.
and
he's a sophomore, correct?
Yeah, he's a sophomore, and Zach Harden is a freshman, and
Right.
both of them did some good things. And John Williams did had a great catch for the touchdown, and did some good things. And there's some good things that we can take out of that football game. And Harlan County is a heck of a football team, and
Right.
I would hate to see the team that's going to beat them.
Right.
And I know Tom well. I coached in the Kentucky-Tennessee All-Star game with him, and I know he felt like he was going to have a pretty good football team. And so, we're going to be this week. We've got Woodford County, so we're going to really see what we're made of coming back after a loss. And so, hopefully, our puppies can pull it together and do some stuff.
Right. Tell us what you talked about. I know I asked you this at halftime, but let's go back into it. What you said to them. This is a little bit different conversation this halftime than maybe what you would have said last year with all the seniors.
Right. Well, anytime you have a young bunch, you don't want to, there's no need to go in there raising Cain and ripping people and all that stuff because they're young. They're going to make mistakes. If this was a if this was last year's football team, the scene at halftime would be a little different because you're expecting a lot more out of 25 seniors.
Right.
And so it's a young football team. We have 11 seniors. Those guys that are seniors, they've been with us, so they know some things. But the young guys around them that haven't really been in the ball game and things like that have got to do a lot of contributing. And we just went in and talked about the things that we need to do better, what we felt like we could do against them. Like I said, we give up a 4th and 5 on the goal line down there, and they throw a touchdown, which we had everything shut down except we just had a young guy miss an assignment. And then, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, we make 2 great plays a couple of times, and we've got them for long yardage, and we let them get out of it. Or we, offensively, we miss a block here, miss a block there that's going to help us sustain drive. So it was one of those, it was a teaching moment at halftime where you just talk to them and say, hey, here's what we have to do to get back in this football game.
Right. Tell us what you and your staff did to approach going into your second half.
Well, basically it's one of those things where what did we do wrong?
Right.
We talk before we go in the locker room. What can we do better in the second half? How are we going to handle it? What are we going to say in the locker room? Who do we need to speak to specifically to lift them up or ask them, what are you seeing?
Right.
And kind of address it that way so that all of our bases are covered before we go in there and talk to the kids, because as a coaching staff, offense goes one way, defense goes the other. And the offense and the defensive coaches are getting with their group, talking to their kids, whether it be DBs, running backs, whatever.
Right.
So you want to go in the locker room as a coaching staff with a game plan. So you meet a couple minutes out there, talk about it, and then go in and execute the game plan you've talked about.
Right. Right. Okay, Coach, we'll be right back. We're going to take another break here at Jack Burford Chevrolet with the Coach Browne Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond. Luxury Pet Service, Richmond. Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay. CSEP, Madison County EMA.net. Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond. Richmond Tourism. Time Warner Cable. Madison County Schools. ScenicCabin.com. Faith Created Assembly of God Church. And Tatum Enterprises.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. If you'd like to be one of our advertising sponsors, check out our website or go to our Facebook page.
Watch our programming online at WKYT.com, your town, Richmond, or watch it at Bria Online at BriaOnline.com. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond.
Welcome back to the Coach Bert Browne Show. I'm Samantha Burford here with head coach Bert Browne. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about some of the positives from the game. You've said it's a young team, an extremely young team, you've told me. Let's talk about some of the positives that have come out of this.
Well, the biggest thing is we will not play a football team as physical as Harlan County. So the positive is that we've faced as physical a football team as we will see all year. They are a strong, physical bunch.
Right.
And so now our kids know a little bit about what it's like to be punched in the mouth and have to get off the ground. And so, it's kind of like EKU maybe going and playing Florida,
right,
and getting beat, and then coming back and playing their schedule, and it's not quite as tough. Now, that's not to that degree because we're going to play some awful good football teams, but we will not play a football team that is as physical as Harlan
right.
County. They're so physical and strong. So the positive of that is our guys were thrown into the fire early.
Yeah.
And I think that we came out with some guys dinged up that won't be available this week. So, but that is the one positive is that we've played as physical a football team as we'll ever play.
Do you think they took this as a good learning experience? That they're going to move on,
yeah.
They're not going to sulk over it?
I think we did.
On.
We watched the film and talked about those things and have moved on and getting ready for Woodford County.
Well, let's just talk right now about that. Woodford County tomorrow night,
yes,
correct? So
yes.
Friday night, what do you think? What is your approach
well,
for that?
They're like us. They're looking for their first win. They're 0-1. They're a football team that was kind of like us a couple years ago, coming off of a not very good season and looking to improve. So it's at their place. It's their first home game. So they should have a great crowd there, and they should be excited. And, it's like I told our kids. They're looking at our film thinking, well, we're going to beat these guys.
Right.
And I'm sure our kids are looking at the film saying, we're going to beat those guys. So
yeah.
Somebody's got to get a win, and hopefully our preparation throughout the week is going to lead us into that category.
Right. Yeah, like you said, they'll have a big home crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had a big home crowd for your first opener against Harlan County. I mean, wonderful facilities, big crowd. Let's hope that even the next home game you'll have as big of a crowd. And I think it'll be maybe the largest attended game for home games against Southern. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I would say that everybody in Berea and Madison County will be at that game, and it'll be a great atmosphere, I would think. And those are the kind that I think the kids love that kind of stuff. And it as a coach, you like to be able for your guys to play in that kind of atmosphere, because that's something that for the rest of their life they'll be able to talk about and remember, and I know the fans will be able to talk about it for the rest of their lives and talk about what kind of crowd it is. It's supposed to be beautiful all of next week, so we're supposed to have a beautiful night, and I know I'm always looking at the long-range forecast for Friday nights, and I know it's going to be 90, 91 degrees tomorrow, and
that's going to be
it's
hot.
supposed to be in the 70s next Friday, so it's going to be a great night for the fans, I think, for both teams and for the county. It is a great thing, really, to be able to play a team that's you're kind of your crosstown rivals, because it brings the whole community together. And I know there's a lot of people, older people that are my age and older and younger also, that graduated from Madison Central, that lived in that end of the county when there wasn't a Madison Southern. So I think that it'll be a huge crowd.
I know that your freshmen just played Southern. What was it, last night?
Last night.
So how was the turnout for that? Or how'd they play?
Well, it was a pretty good crowd. It was at our place. We had I'm going to say 300 or 400 people at a freshman game. Yeah, so that was a pretty good crowd for a freshman game. And
how'd they do?
Well, we won. We won by a touchdown. It was a tight game. It was a defensive struggle. We had a young man scoop up a fumble on the 2 and run it in, and he was awful excited. And he said, "Coach, I was going to do the icky shuffle, but the referee got mad at me." So He couldn't do that, so
That's all right. It shows good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
I mean, that they're out there.
Yeah, and so it was a fun night for our kids, and I think it's a good thing anytime you can play a crosstown rival.
Right. And speaking of sportsmanship, we hope that everyone, it is a good thing. This is a nice event. Hopefully it's a family event. I know a lot of kids are always there, so we got to make sure that there is good sportsmanship, and I think we're in a community that can do that.
I think so too. I mean, it's always good to have a heated rivalry, but I think that the fans, for the most part, will, because everybody knows everybody in Madison County, so there's nothing wrong with cheering for your team and raising Cain. But doing it in a good way. Yeah, when it's over, it's over. Yeah.
Right. Now, I know this will air next week, but as tonight goes, when we're filming, it's the first season home game for EKU. Will any of your team go watch this game tonight?
I'm sure several of them will.
Yeah.
I know several of our coaches, Browne Buck and Andrew Susie, who both played at Eastern, are going to be there. So. And it's a big night. I was driving through on my way to Jack Burford here, and it looked like they're going to have a huge crowd. And, I think there's a lot of excitement around Eastern football and around Dean Hood and around this new president coming in and talking some big plans. So even though I'm a Tennessee Tech guy, I coach for Coach Kidd, and I love him to death. And I wish, Dean Hood's a good friend of mine, and I wish nothing but the best for him.
I think you have.
Until they play Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I think you even have his grandson on your team, right?
Oh, yeah, Coach Kidd's grandson, Cody's on our team.
Right. Injured right now.
He's injured right now, and he should be back in a couple weeks, and he's a tough little player.
Right. All right, well, let's take another break, and we'll be right back with more right after this.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call.
Welcome back to the Coach Bert Browne Show. Again, I'm Samantha Burford, and of course I'm here with Coach Bert Browne. We are going to talk one more time tomorrow night, because today is Thursday, so this will view next week, but tomorrow night is your Woodford County game, and it's away.
Yes.
Ready for that?
Ready. Ready, I think we are. We've had a good week of practice, so other than having a few starters out here and there, we're ready to go.
And then one more time, let's tell them the date of
the date of the Southern game will be next Friday. That is September the 6th, I believe. I
think it is, yeah.
We should be a big crowd, and I know our Booster Club is selling tailgating spots for $50 for the season. That gets you the whole season. And we might see about having some general parking back there, but I don't know yet. But I know that you can contact our Booster Club. You can get on MadisonCentralFootball.com, find that contact information, and you're really just giving Madison Central Football a donation, but you're getting great parking, and it's a great time. People grill out and have a good time back there. Little kids throw football and all that stuff.
Tailgating before the game.
Yeah, it's a fun time back there.
Well, and it's important for the
Oh, yeah.
next game against Southern
Oh, yeah,
because it's going to be
parking is
packed.
gonna
Get
be
to
a
the game
premium.
early.
Yeah, they might have to be running trolleys from from Main Street to get everybody to the
That
game.
might be a good idea.
Oh yeah, I think
You
so.
charge for that too. That might be another way.
That'd
I
be
mean,
all right.
all these sports are always looking for ways to make money to improve the
we've
program.
got to,
so.
you know. I mean, that's one thing about it, and fundraising is a big thing now with
Right.
athletics.
Right. Well, and you've got all that grassy area back there. It's a perfect way. People can park. It's
Yeah.
going to be perfect. I mean, it's a great idea.
And like I say, it's a great way to donate football to the donate money to Madison Central football and have a great place to park.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for the Southern game because parking is going to be tough to find.
Yeah. Maybe people will get there early, tailgate, and have a good time.
Have a good time, yeah.
That's right. That's what it's all about,
Oh,
high
yeah.
school football.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming and
Well,
being on our
it's good being
Coach
here.
Bert Browne show, of course.
Yeah.
And we thank you, and we want to wish you good luck for tomorrow night's game against Woodford County.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Samantha Burford, and thanks for watching the Coach Bert Browne show.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. Watch our programming online at WKYT.com, your town, Richmond, or watch it at Bria Online at BriaOnline.com. This program sponsored by Madison Drug in Richmond, Town and Country Auto Sales, Richmond, the best little card shop in Richmond, and WWAG Radio. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do if there's an earthquake and how to plan for emergencies, like house or chemical fires. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Bert Browne.
and I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County Schools Sports Television.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.